Well, next to the sport of hockey, indoor lacrosse might be the fastest sport between the boards. And with some recent ownership changes for the Minnesota Swarm, our local pro team is starting to turn some heads.
Sullivan picks it up, 2-on-1 against Ilya Gaich. Left-handed shot and a beauty.
The Minnesota Swarm Youth Box League, a great reason for coaches as well as the players in the state of Minnesota to get involved in it. One is to interact with our coaching staff, the best lacrosse players in the world, but at the same time to increase their skill level. It's been proven that anyone that's out there playing field lacrosse and box lacrosse is going to advance their level of play.
The Youth Box League is geared towards kids that want to improve their skills and want to take their lacrosse game to the next level.
We send our players out there to help coach and train them, as well as our director of the box league is one of our offensive coaches for the team. Then you have guys like Zach Greer, one of the best field lacrosse players, as well as a box lacrosse player that the kids will have access to.
It's a similar game to hockey, where you're playing indoors and it's a 5-on-5 style with body checking and you know, up and down the floor. When kids come out to a Minnesota Swarm professional lacrosse game, they see a product on the floor and they see this lacrosse, and it's something that they've never played before, and there's not a lot of opportunities for them to play that style of lacrosse where it's indoor, 5-on-5, really fast-paced game, and they see this and they want to play it. So this is what we want to do, and we want to grow it, and we want to give back to the community.
And here joining me now to talk a little bit more about some Swarm lacrosse, the #1 draft choice of the Minnesota Swarm, Zach Greer, is here. Thank you very much for being here. And Andy Arlotta, the vice president and co-owner of the team. Zach, let me start with you. How has the transition been from the collegiate game, where you, by the way, were the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I lacrosse? How has the transition been to the pro game?
Yeah, it's been slow and steady. We knew it was going to be a process. Obviously, the games are a little bit different. The skill sets are a little bit different, but great leadership here, and the team's been helping me come along, and things are going pretty well for us.
And Andy, you're not just trying to develop your own team. You're trying to develop this sport in Minnesota. The Swarm does a lot of work with youth lacrosse programs across the state.
Absolutely. The foundation here in Minnesota with lacrosse is outstanding. It ranks #6 in the country. We're just here to help support that growth.
And we should mention that there is some translation between hockey and lacrosse. We were talking earlier, Ryan Hurley was I believe one of the captains of the Holy Angels team that won the state tournament here in hockey a few years ago, and now he's a star at Cornell, and you know Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. The skill sets are really similar. The reaction on the ice, the physicality of it really play well together. So it's something I grew up playing both sports as well, and I think it's beneficial for kids in both sports to play as much as they can.
And Andy, Ryan Hurley's an example of how Minnesota is starting to grow some lacrosse players.
Absolutely, and then that's what we're all about helping to support too, is get those homegrown Minnesota lacrosse players, get them through the system, and then eventually be able to draft them back here to play for the Minnesota Swarm.
And of course, then put people in the seats here at the Xcel Energy Center to watch the Swarm play. It is a very exciting game, and congratulations to both of you guys. You've won 3 games in a row, so keep it up. Andy Arlotta and Zach Greer, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Our coverage of the